some difference here.
$6,360,000 is the new number. And I would go as provided in the Eller sale day packet, maybe as a little extra. You know, to the end of that motion, you know, as provided in the Eller sale day packet.
I can't hear anything. I put marks.
No talking.
And I'm not even using the mic.
Alright, we'll try it, hold on. Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order of the village board. It is 7:36. Do you want to call roll call?
Yep. Trustee Carpenter.
Here.
Trustee Ward.
Here.
President Rosick.
Here.
Trustee Amenta.
Here.
Trustee Maher.
Yeah.
Trustee McKay. Trustee Bachler.
And? Yes, I'm here. Yes.
Trustee Bachler?
Trustee Bachler, yeah.
Okay. I'll
Mike,
move trustees
here.
and then present.
Thank you.
We're all
As this meeting did properly
Not
notice.
close because of speakers.
The meeting has been posted and noticed according to law.
Thank you. Got it.
Is there, can we bring a table and maybe put
Or chair.
Yeah.
let's grab it.
The table, the chair.
You know what, I think a chair would be a better idea.
Okay, we're just repositioning the phone and I'm just gonna ask for everyone to speak louder. It'd be a great video to watch. Outdoor
Can you
voice.
hear us now? Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Our first special order of business today is a presentation by Mr. Harrigan of Ellers, and he will give us a summary of our bond sale results.
Thank you, Madam President. I have distributed for the board this evening our, what we refer to as our sale day packet. For the trustees that are on the telephone, I'm going to describe what's in the packet and some of the information that's contained here. We have two documents in this packet. One is called the Sale Day Report, which summarizes the results of the bidding that occurred today that we performed on behalf of the village. These were bids that were solicited through the distribution of your official statement for the sale of the bonds that were put forward that you had authorized in a special initial resolution here about 30 days ago. The purpose of the borrowing here is predominantly funding of the capital projects that have been budgeted by the village for your current budget year. I can report to you this evening, as contained in the pre-sale or in the sale day report, we were very pleased to receive 5 bids from across the country seeking the right to buy the bonds. The best bid was the one as indicated on page 3 of the tabulation, the one submitted by Piper Jaffrey and Cantor Fitzgerald. The Piper bid is represented by the true interest rate, which is the figure on the far right side of this sheet. The aggregate rate, including their underwriting fee, is 3.1998%. And you'll see that if you flip through the the 3 pages of bid results. Bids were received also from FTN Financial Capital Markets out of Memphis, BOK Financials out of Milwaukee, Baird, Robert W. Baird from Milwaukee, and Northland Securities out of Minneapolis. The high bid was from Northland, and theirs was at a 3.3347%. Now, by way of just comparison, it would be useful, I think, for the board to understand that when we were running the planning estimates for this transaction, we had estimated the interest rate impacts and tax rate impacts. We were using an estimated interest rate of 3.49%. We were assuming a little potential hedge in the event that market did increase, and it did increase. Fortunately, not by more as much as our projections. If you look at the actual last page of the document, you can actually see a graph that shows market movement over the past year with the high points and the low point. The low was in December, the high was in late April. We've seen uptick over the course of the last couple of weeks, and we're just a little under where the high point was, but nevertheless, we're very happy that we were able to receive the quality and number of bids today, and they were very aggressive. I will say that the fact that the village had its credit rating affirmed at the AA2 credit rating level by Moody's Investor Service was obviously key to attracting the market that you did to this particular deal. In the packet, in pages 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, and 11, there's a copy of the credit opinion report from Moody's. I won't read the whole thing, but I will tell you that they do a nice job of summarizing your credit strengths and any credit challenges, and you've got a credit rating that is only 2 notches below the AAA level, which is the best you can get. Very strong credit rating for the village. The other thing to know about this thing is that because of the aggressive bidding, the underwriter took a smaller discount and offered a premium on the bid, meaning that they offered to pay you more than the face amount of the bonds. And as a result of that, you're able to downsize the issue. We had a total original issue of plan of $6,455,000, and we're recommending that be downsized to $6,360,000. That allows you to receive all the capital that you had planned to receive to cover your project costs, and it covers your expenses. So if you want to see a summary of that, that's contained on page 5 with the yellow column identifying the actual results, and the column on the left was the pre-bid estimated sizing. Finally, I would also indicate, as is indicated on page 6, there's a spreadsheet here that lays out the impact of this deal on your overall debt payment plan. And you've seen this before, but I'm just going to quickly summarize what's here. On the left, we've got your equalized value projected, which is used in the calculating of your tax rate. We have in the middle of the third column from the left, the principal and interest on your existing debt that's outstanding. We have sources available, which is your tax increment districts and your utilities that are offsetting some of the payments on that overall borrowing that's already occurred. And then we have the net payments for the existing debt. This issue is the one in green, and so you can see the principal and interest payments in that set of columns just to the left of center there. And those are the actual rates now that are plugged in. The bid premium is shown, and the total debt payments are shown. We have offsetting abatement sources, and then the net levy is in the yellow column, and the change in levy from year to year is indicated. At the bottom of the page, you'll see what the pre-sale estimates were in terms of total payments. We were anticipating that you would have total payments about $261,000 higher than what you actually are going to have as a result of the lowering of the principal and interest on this particular issue. When we get over to the right side, because of the reductions, there was not as much offsetting revenue from needed from the utilities, so our net levy reduction is $222,434. What does that mean annually? Just in terms of the breakdown, if you look at page 7, the next page, we have this broken out into the purposes, the general fund piece, the sewer, the water piece, and the total. And then on the far right of that page, you can see the pre-sale annual payment estimate, and then as against the actual total payments. You're going to be spending an average of about a little over $10,000 less per year for the life of this issue, as compared to what we had originally planned in our plan. So again, overall about $261,000 less in terms of that overall issue. So the action tonight would be the approval of the amended resolution dollar amount. The other document in the packet is the resolution that was prepared in final form today by your bond attorney, Quarles and Brady. This has the correct dollar amount of the issue, the $6,360,000 principal. And what this resolution does, if you approve it, is you're approving the sale of the bonds to the low bidder. You're locking into the interest rates for the life of the issue as proposed by the low bidder. You're agreeing to abide by all of the rules that apply to the issuance of tax-exempt debt as provided by the Internal Revenue Service. And you're agreeing to provide ongoing disclosure information about your financials to the bondholders that purchase these bonds. And you're levying the tax necessary to meet the payments on principal and interest on the debt. So with that, Madam President, I'm happy to answer questions of any of the trustees or yourself.
Does anyone have any questions?
What was the revised amount of the sale amount total?
It was reduced by $95,000, and the new dollar amount, Trustee Maher, is $6,360,000. It had been $6,455,000.
Okay. 60,000, thank you.
Yes.
Mr. Reed, for the Moody's investors, we have some new trustees, and I know anyone in the audience probably would like a refresher as well, but could you just summarize what the handout that you gave us here on an update to our credit analysis? Very happy to hear that we have maintained our AA standing, and I'm just wondering, since we get a lot of questions about this on the street, can you just go over what would bring us better strength in our rating, or what they're saying in this credit rating that could bring us down in the future based on what we decide in our budgeting?
First of all, the big picture background here is that Moody's, just big picture wise, Moody's Investor Service is an agency. There are two others in the United States that predominantly provide a service of evaluating the ability of different borrowers to repay their debt, municipal borrowers. And so they evaluate them on the basis of a set of matrices that they have prepared. There's a methodology that they go through in determining how you stack up versus other similar communities across the country. And they go through that list of matrices in this report and give you an idea as to how you compare to your peers in terms of the medians for your rating group. And so when you go through a credit rating, it's typical that they will conduct an interview with the key staff of the community. This occurred with the village manager and the finance director. We sat in on this. It was about an hour and a half conversation. They went through the audits. They went through all the details of your tax increment district performance. They went through the budget and the history of your budget and the projections that you've made for this year and coming forward.
Did you say there was a meeting?
There was a phone call. Yeah. The report that's here before you is a report that came out of the credit committee. And the credit committee consists of anywhere from 4 to 6 people from across the country that are credit rating analysts, so that they have consistency in their credit report. The first page is really a summary of what it talks about. And it talks about your credit strengths, which are your affluent tax base and your location within the metropolitan Milwaukee region. You've got a sound financial profile characterized by prudent management and healthy reserve levels. Now that's very important. The maintenance of your reserves and the fact that you've been good stewards of your budget over these years has really been noted and is something that they take very seriously.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yes.
So, is it under the opinion, if we keep it at 30%, if we don't go below 30%, is there like a certain gauge for us of what is healthy reserve fund?
They're aware of your policy currently.
So the 30%.
That's one of the things that they've looked at. In your policy provides for some flexibility in terms of the range that you've allowed yourself within that budget. And provided that you adhere to your own policy, that you should receive full credit within the matrices for your credit rating class for that. And there's more on that in the report here. You can read more about the fund